live. I don't know how well this is going to go because the Wi-Fi here is pretty weak. So I thought rather than trying to upload a edited video, which obviously would be a huge file, I'll just do a live stream. So hope you guys are all well. Hope everyone's doing good. So I'm in a hotel at the moment. Currently renovating obviously the project up north that I've told you guys about several times. The property. TalkHex says hey 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 hey, and so far it's gone pretty well. I set myself a budget of about 20 grand to renovate a property. So far it looks like I'm going to complete at 15 grand, so 5 grand under budget, which is good news. David says good evening, Glenn. Hello mate, I hope you're well. Thanks for always watching and commenting on the videos. So obviously I've been really busy and that's why I haven't done any videos, but I did say a couple of weeks ago, obviously, you know, the amount of content that I'm going to probably do is going to dip because I'll be really busy, but I'm still trying to obviously keep the conversation going. Obviously I mentioned on the drive up here that I was really interested in doing a... Someone just banged. Did you see Hex ads in the UK newspapers and Premier League? Yes, I have. Yeah, it was all over Twitter. It was. I got sent the images. Yeah, it's really interesting. I think. Look at how far I spend in Ethereum. Let me just unplug this. I'm gonna have to move my charger. Where should we sit? Let's sit here, in front of this mirror. Is it working? Hopefully that's working, otherwise my battery's gonna go. Sit in this nice little leather chair. So, yeah, what was I thinking? What was I thinking before I did this live stream? We've got 10 people viewing now, so hopefully you guys all smash that like button for me. Obviously I've been doing the property up. I'm under budget, which is awesome. That's like, you can't ask for better than that really. And the time scale looks like I'm going to complete by the end of July. So it's all round, it would have taken 4 weeks to renovate this property from top to bottom. We stripped the walls back to bare. I've been recording videos every few days, so when I get home from this, I'll compile them into like a compilation video, so you guys will see a video of the house being done within like a couple minutes, but obviously it's a month's worth of work. But I was chatting to these guys, like plumbers, heating engineers, while they was here, and I was talking about their house prices versus their wages, like their income, and I was saying actually your cost of living is very good compared to your wages, so you should be able to be mortgage free sort of fairly on. And they said, oh, we never thought about it like that. Whereas obviously I said in the UK, in the UK, where I'm from, down south, house prices are double, if not triple, in certain areas. So I said, like, we've got no chance of being mortgage free really, apart from obviously our capital growth going up. So I was talking about it and they said, oh, you know loads about properties, didn't you? Because I was talking about the new stamp duty laws that just came in. Means you haven't got to pay stamp duty currently when you purchase a property, which for a second homeowner, which I am, is huge. The house that I was looking to buy personally, not through like the business or anything, I was looking to pay something like £14,000 in stamp duty, and now they've just waived that until March next year. So if you're looking to buy a house, like, now's the time to do it. It's awesome. So what I've been doing is I've been coming back to the hotel room. You can see here all my mess, and we get back here about, I don't know, 6, 7, then we go down for something to eat, and then I'm up here in the room on my own. So I've just been researching loads and reading. I read this massive, like 70-page document today about crowdfunding for a business idea, and obviously it's quite a unique. I'm trying to do it sort of in the most non-scammy, non-money grabbing looking way, and also that is legit, like that's legal and above board, and I'm not breaking any rules or regulations, of trying to create a decentralized way, coin or token that can somehow be associated with being a angel investor into a limited company that purchases properties. And obviously I would be the person that does all the work. So I'd be doing obviously the finding of the properties, the lettings of the properties, the renovation of the properties. So a lot of the emphasis will be on me. So really when people would be investing in this DeFi project, there is a central point of failure, which is me. Obviously, as the business would expand, I could then sub that out to different people and grow the business that way. But it's hard, it's difficult, because I've had a few of you message me privately saying, Glenn, this idea you're thinking of, it can't be done, you can't do it. And I can see why it seems tricky. But ideally, essentially, what I want to do is create a DeFi property investment company, token. Now, I've been putting loads of thought into this, and I've seen obviously coins that try and raise money for their project, and they want to raise like 1,000 Ethereum or like $1 million and stuff like that. Obviously, I don't want to do that. There's no need for that. I would just be, that's like excessive for what I'm looking to do. Obviously, I'd love to. That'd be brilliant. I mean, that would propel me probably 5 to 10 years down the road. But my actual plan is to raise something like £50,000. Now, I was thinking if I can make the project, good enough, in a way where people think, yeah, that's something I want to be a part of. Really, I normally get sort of 500 views on my videos, and I thought that's obviously 500 people that obviously like my content, who regularly watch my content. So that's you guys. You guys are, normally these live videos don't do too well because people think, oh, it's a live video, I've missed out. I would rather have watched it when he was live. So, but I thought, if I could get 500 people to invest £100 each, which ain't huge amounts, into the coin, and then I'd raise £50,000. So then I'm thinking, actually, this isn't unachievable. I'm a very small, obviously, YouTuber. I don't know any cryptography skills at all, so I can't go and create my own coin on its own blockchain. Obviously, like companies like EOS and all them, they've got loads of people developing for them, and it's taken them, 4 years to get to where they are. So I'm trying to streamline it and be like, right, you're good at that cryptography. You do that side for me. I'll do the talking about it on YouTube, and I'll do all the hard work in terms of purchasing the properties, renovating them, getting a return on it. But then, and I understand why tokens do what they do now. You can either create a token with, say, a supply of, I don't know, let's say 1 million coins or 100 million coins. That's what you see a lot of, like really silly high numbers. But you own the circulating supply of about 25 to 50% of them. A bit like XRP. You put that coin on, say, a decentralized platform like Uniswap, and you try and get listed on other exchanges, which obviously takes time. And over time, the market cap gets slightly bigger and bigger and bigger. And then what you do is you sell a position of your overall supply on the market. So let's just say, bam, 5% of all the tokens I sell on that day. That gives me probably Bitcoin or Ethereum. I'd have to do the exchange into. But then you would then send that Ethereum or whatever to Coinbase or any off-ramp. Then I can get it out as cash. Then I can go and buy a house. Then I can renovate the house. Then what would I do? Like, to put money back into it. So I've contacted someone who does cryptography and said, look, I want to create a token, one that you can stake, so it incentivizes people to buy the coin and hold on to it, because a property investment company is not, you know, I'm going to buy a house and then tomorrow it'll be worth $1 million. You're talking, this is like over a year, 2 years or whatever, like per property. So I was thinking, oh, if I could obviously have an inflation in the coin or whatever, where obviously people get staking rewards. So that's like one reason why people would want to hold the coin in the first place. Secondly, obviously I would raise that money somehow, however I raise the money at the beginning. I would then put that back into the coin. Now, what do I do with that money? Do I pay it as dividends like Nexo does? Nexo pays 30% of their profits for the year through their lending platform. They pay it back to Nexo token holders, and you have to have held the tokens. So depending on how many tokens you hold and for how long. Fred says, hi, hello mate, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Don't forget to smash that like button. I've only got 3 likes, but there's like 16 people watching. What's up, guys? Come on, be a part of it. So then, so you've got obviously the dividends way, which would make the most sense for a limited company in the UK, because when you're an investor in a company, you can either earn a wage, which obviously I'd have to earn a wage, and you could get paid dividends based on the company's performance. So I could pay the people that own the coin dividends, or I could just take the profits and put it into the price of the coin, if you like, to, pump the price of the coin up, if you like. So I'm trying to find the best way to do it. The other way of raising money is to do what a lot of these ICOs and stuff do, where they say like, oh, for the first 6 months or first whatever, like a certain time frame, it's a crowd sale. So I would say to you guys, right, if you want to own 1,000 of this property token, you have to put in a minimum of 0.5 Ethereum or 1 Ethereum. That means I don't have a majority hold of the coin. It's evenly distributed between everyone that puts money in. So new regs, a UK resident that's purchasing a second home or buy-to-let property, so you are subject to the 3% stamp duty surcharge. I agree it's a great idea, but I don't think anyone has done something similar yet. Craig said, I'd put 100 in. Cool idea. Let's do it. Just don't run on us. I think it's a brilliant idea. Yeah, someone messaged me saying, Glenn, you can't do what you're thinking of doing. You can't do, because if you're selling a token and you're promising people a return at some point, it's deemed as a security, which means you can't sell it to anyone in America, which is fine. Obviously I want to be legit and above board. And you can see why Richard Hart, obviously he's saying like, I can't tell you what I'm doing with the Ethereum because then you'll expect a return, therefore it'd be deemed a security, and he lives in America, so he'd be very easily arrested. So I want to do it a legit and above way. I just need to figure out, the answer is there. What I need to do is sit down with someone who really understands tokenomics and the cryptography side of it and say, yeah, your best way is to raise money through the coin this way, and for you to pay money back into the project, because obviously that's my goal, is that anyone who invests in this, they hold the token, and then I can pay them like obviously rewards through the rental of UK property. The type of properties that we'll be buying will be properties that need to be renovated anyway. So we're then supplying on the market a property that is a livable home for a family. So it's almost like everyone's a winner, if you like. I'm not sort of negatively impacting anyone. You could say, oh, but then you're inflating the house prices because you're buying houses, doing them up, and then they're going up in value and all that sort of stuff. But they're homes that people don't want to live in the first place. So I think that's a redundant argument. But yeah, I've just been thinking about it so much, and I've been reading about it. There's loads of rules regarding crowdfunding, and I think that's a way of a lot of people getting around it at the minute. They're not saying it's an ICO or a token sale. They're saying it's crowdfunding using cryptography. And crowdfunding comes under different laws in the UK. So you can do a Kickstarter, so in theory, I could just set up a Kickstarter and say, invest in me and I'll buy a property or something like that. But then it gets messy, because I assume then people become a angel investor. So they're there in the background. They own a percentage of the company, but they have no running of the day-to-day of the business. And that's what I want, really. I want people to be able to buy the tokens, to exchange it if they want to, buy and sell it on the open markets, on Uniswap or whatever. I'd have to provide liquidity, so I'd have to put some Ethereum versus the token on Uniswap, so there's liquidity, so people can swap and change. Obviously, I'd earn some money from the liquidity side of it through Uniswap, I think. I don't know how that fully works, but obviously, if people are buying and selling the token, that could raise or lower the price of the token. That's up to the market to decide at that point. But as long as I do what I said I was going to do at the beginning, when I start this project, once I say, right, I am going to do this and I promise I will do this by this. Now, things might be out of my control. House could fall down, could burn down, could get set on fire, could be flooded. Obviously, you'd make sure you add insurance and stuff like that. But you know what I mean? Like, stuff could happen and I could be like, oh, this year we're not running at a profit because the UK housing market just crashed massively or something like that. But yeah, I've got a really good feeling about it. It's the most excited I've been about cryptocurrency for quite a while. So I just need to figure out the best way to do it. And then what I will be doing is releasing a token that people can buy and sell or invest in at the beginning, and I'm hoping to have some sort of staking feature, so you can just stake the coin and let it ride. And then who knows where it'll go? Who knows? I agree, it's a great idea. Make it as a membership and pay the revenue in a stable coin. Make it as a membership. What do you mean membership, Fred? I agree with Frederick. Let's say we pay a fixed price, the membership. Then you issue an amount of staking tokens for funding. Then you pay the stakers back in stablecoin based on the company's revenue. Interesting. Look at the IDEX model. Okay, Fred, I'll look into that. I know the answer is there. I know it is. Now, at the minute, I'm trying to obviously renovate this property, and I was talking to someone sort of about it. Like, obviously, I just gave them a brief. I said, look, I'm looking at starting up a new business. And they're like, well, hang on a minute. You've only just started this one and doing the thing. They said you don't want to have too many things going on at once, because otherwise you start slipping, don't you? So I said to him, oh, no, it's right. Now, this house should be done in the next 2 weeks. That means I can really sit down. At the minute, I'm just laying in bed, just looking on my phone, just reading stuff. And so, but I've emailed people that actually create cryptocurrencies, and sort of said, like, this is what I'm looking at doing, blah, blah, blah. Just save a seat for me as a small angel investor. Will do, Fred. I'll save you the front seat, mate. The front seat. You can ride shotgun. Um, yeah, the answers are there. It's just that obviously you only know what you know, and until, like, say someone comes along like Fred and says, try and do it this way or try and do it that way, you're like, oh yeah, So um, yeah, I'm looking at a few different models, a few different ways of doing it, and I just really, really want to do it like a legit way. I don't, I don't want to start getting harassed and saying, oh, you're a shiller, you're a scammer, and all of that sort of stuff, which I know will come because obviously I'm doing something that isn't Bitcoin maximalism. Um, but I really think that I can do it. I think I can do it. I think we can do it as a community, Team BitGlen. Like I say, I only need. I mean, I don't know. Some people might invest like £1,000. Some people might invest £50. But if I can raise sort of like 50,000, which is a big sum of money, that should be enough for me to purchase a property, and hopefully renovate it as well. If I can do that within that doesn't sound a lot, but like the house I've just bought was 42,000. I've just renovated it for 15, so that gives me a total spend of 57. Plus, I've had to pay obviously stamp duty, legal fees, auction fees, so probably closer to the 60,000. 5k on progress and higher. um, so yeah, that's 60,000, and I could do that. And I've spoken to estate agents, and they reckon it'll rent for about 450 a month. So that's a very good rental yield, and obviously that's that's for how long. I could rent that out for 10 years, 15 years. That could be generating that much, and obviously rent normally goes up with inflation and stuff like that. And every couple of years, I can remortgage it, get the money out of the property, which is almost tax free because you're gaining money through borrowing against an asset. So it's a bit like Bitcoin with Nexo and Cellulus. It's a non-taxable event. So every few years you could be like, oh, the house has gone up £5,000, let's remortgage it. Oh, just got £5,000 out of it. Or you could pay the mortgage off. It's up to you. Obviously, if I raised enough money to just go and buy a house cash, that would be sweet, because then you can negotiate, 10, 20 grand straight off the property. Like, look, I'm a cash buyer. I can buy this house, have it all completed by the end of the week. People will bite your arm off. Then obviously if you've got the right team of people, which I'm developing loads of contacts doing this, so I already have sort of in the last couple of weeks gas safe engineers that can certificate any gas and heating that they do in the property. Electrician, he can sign off and do any pat testing. Plasterer, painter and decorators, estate agents, a bricklayer. So I've got all these contacts, so I'll be able to obviously again negotiate better deals with them and say, look, I've used you a couple of times now, do you mind doing me trade rates or mates rates, sort of thing. And then as the project grew, if it raised more and more money, you wouldn't be looking at 50 grand properties, because you got to think 50 grand properties are properties that are run down in deprived areas. You could start looking at luxury markets and rental homes, for Airbnb. Like I've seen around here, there's some really lovely luxury homes that are sort of like old fashioned cottages. And I think, God, that would rent for, £2,000 a month on, say, Airbnb. Scenery's beautiful. But the rent, like the actual mortgage on it, would only be like £300-400 a month. So then you're talking like £1,600 a month profit. Times that by 12. Also, now you're running at sort of 12 grand a year profit. If you can get some stuff like that, as well as a combination of steady income, like families renting homes, because obviously they live there for long periods of time, whereas holiday lets, you might have weeks where no one's in it, or you might have certain months where it's not as busy as others. Yeah, it all combines, and all of a sudden now you if you can get a business so it's generating, I don't know, like 2 to 5 grand profit a month, you know, if you've bought several properties, you know, that's a decent chunk of money, month in, month out, all year round. You can keep investing that, buy more properties, and now you're earning 6 grand, 7 grand. And the idea is that by the end of the year, when the accountant does the accounts, I could say, right, I own 50% of the company, and anyone who owns any of this property token that I'm looking to make, they own the other 50%. Now there might be 10 of you that have invested, or there might be 10,000 people, but they would all receive a share of that profit. So let's say the company generates, I don't know, £50,000 of profit. Split that in the middle, I'd have 25 grand as a wage, and then all the people that have just bought and held the token, they would have a share of that 25 grand as well. More to the point, where does one buy a house for 42k? 20%, I'd buy some. Well, there's loads of properties. I've seen properties for 5 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand. There were some 2-bedroom houses that I saw going for 32 grand for an auction the other day. They were flats, needed loads of work done to them. I've seen in Leeds, where I'm based at the moment, I'm looking at Chesterfield, Sheffield, sort of like Midlands, if you like. Properties around here, you can buy a 3-bed, semi-detached house for 100 grand, 110 grand. Now, if that same house is where I'm from, cheap properties in France, yeah, and this can be applied to anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. There's different rules, regulations of what you can and can't buy and how much for and stuff like that, depending on if you're a citizen there or not. But anywhere in the world. Why not own some houses in America, France, Germany, Dubai? Have some holiday homes. Like, I mean, I've been looking at villas in Florida to rent, like for me and my family to actually go on holiday. And I've messaged some of them, and because their rooms are decorated like Mickey Mouse and Star Wars themed, they're like, oh yeah, for 3 weeks it'll be, and she quoted me saying like 10 grand. And I was like, what? Does anyone actually pay that? And she was like, yeah, we're fully booked for the year. So I was like, fucking hell. So it can be done. I think I'm going to do this, whether I do this token or not. Let's just say I don't do this token. Everything I'm telling you guys, I'm personally going to be doing myself anyway, and I've already started. But if I released a token, I just think it would propel me. It would fast forward me probably 5 years. And obviously, therefore, anyone who owns the token, and I just think it'll be a really nice, like with all these tokens, you buy them, and there's just nothing. There's nothing. They've got a website, or there's pictures of the CEO. That's it. That's all you've got, really. You own a bit of code. That's the website. That's the CEO. Imagine if you owned 100,000 token, and I do a video and say, hey guys, look, this is the house that watching that. I'd watch it and I'd be like, I own some of that house. I can't believe it. I own some of that property in the UK, and I'm just sitting here at my desk. I've just bought do you know what? I might buy some more. And that's what I would hope. And obviously the coin would grow. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited about it. What do you guys think? I'd love to hear all your thoughts. If you have any feedback, I mean, this is all I've thought about now for about a week since I come up with the idea. It's doing my head in, actually, so I need to get some sleep, really. I'm really tired. I keep staying up at night reading about cryptocurrency UK laws for raising money for a limited company. I put it in the group chat. Does anyone have any ideas about? But it's such a niche thing. And I was thinking, even if I went to a lawyer or solicitors, I'd have to say to them like, yeah, I'm looking for some advice for selling a cryptocurrency that would raise money for a limited company that is then going to use that to purchase properties in the UK. Can you advise me on that? And they'd be like, yeah, yeah, go and see the next solicitor, mate. Um, it's such a niche thing, but maybe because no one's done it, maybe it'll take off. Mate, I hope so. Um, I just think if, and I'm actually going to do a video and I'm going to actually post it. I remember doing a video when I first started my YouTube channel. I think it was the third or fourth video I'd done. So if any of you want to go back and click on videos and then search by oldest, it was literally one of the first ones. And the thumbnail was something like me going like this, and it said power back to the people. Now, if you want to invest in a company, you had to be like an investor. You have to have over £1 million. You have to meet all this certain criteria. And I thought this idea of anyone could invest in any business or idea using tokens, I love that idea. I thought how liberating, how free, to be able to do that. Now, that obviously opens it up to scammers and stuff like that. Obviously, we've seen many of those together on this almost 3-year journey of cryptocurrency together. But I thought, do you know what? And obviously, the thing that really triggered it was, as you saw, I did the uniswap and I invested in a coin, and then it just disappeared. And I thought, if it's that easy to create a coin, get it onto Uniswap, which really is decentralized. So I know there is rules about in America, you can't invest into securities, which obviously if mine is offering a reward or an outcome, it's deemed a security. So you can't invest, but I'd put the coin on Uniswap and I don't know who's buying it. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how liberating is that? Like, I could be like, I didn't know Americans were buying it. It's up, it's up to them. They're using Uniswap, not me. I didn't tell them to use Uniswap. So, I think I just thought, rather than keep gambling on this DeFi thing, like what coin's going to go up or down, why don't I just make my own one where you actually have a legitimate product the other end of it? You've got this token, but then on the flip side, oh shit, look, you've got this, you've invested in this house, and I could do videos about them. I can do videos every day. Hey guys, look, this is what you've bought. This is what, you're renovating it, or I'm renovating it, and this is what we've done so far. And everyone would watch it and like it and say, oh yeah, it's brilliant, brilliant. Some people might watch it and go, well, what's he talking about? Oh yeah, I want to invest in this coin. So yeah, I'm just really excited about it. I've just got a feeling it's going to do really well because, especially if you're from the UK, people in the UK love talking about properties. And if you're watching this cryptocurrency channel, you like cryptocurrencies. So if I can merge the two, bingo. So that's it. That's really it, guys. I just wanted to talk about that. I thought I'd actually do a video with like talking about just my idea of setting up this cryptocurrency, because I've sort of mentioned it halfway through other videos, and some people switch off after like 5-10 minutes. Obviously I just ramble on for ages. So I thought if I do that, then people will actually come to it and say, well, what's this DeFi project? I want to know what it is. So yeah, I just need to figure out the best way, because I can create a token. I can create a token for about $100, so about 75 quid, quite easily. There's several companies that will do it. But that's all well and good. I can say, hey guys, I've just created an ERC20 token. It's property token or whatever. And unless either I sell on you guys, I hope that you guys buy it, and then I dump my proportion on you. That's one way of raising money. Or I do the whole, if you deposit 1 Ethereum, you get 100 million coin or 1,000 coins. you know, and then obviously there'll be a countdown, and if it hits the soft cap and then the hard cap and all of that shit, I found a website that will actually run that for you. So I'd have the link somewhere, and I'd say, look, if you do want to invest in this, here's the link, deposit 1 Ethereum or whatever, and obviously as you guys deposit Ethereum to it, that gives me, in theory, obviously cash. That's like you guys depositing through Ethereum. I can then cash that Ethereum out for cash. Then you guys receive all your tokens once the crowd sale finishes. You receive your tokens, you've all got these tokens, and you all go out and chat, you know, in Telegram group chats and Twitter saying, oh, I've just bought this property token, it's really cool, and Glenn's going to buy property with it, and then I can use that money and I could literally buy a house within weeks. Go and buy a property, say from auction. Normally they have to be turned around within 2 to 4 weeks. And then, you know, I could video it or photograph the house, send it in, say I'll create like a little Telegram group chat of people that invest in the coin. So then I could say, look guys, this is the house you've helped me buy. Auction 28 days. Let's see what you guys are saying. I'd buy some Glencoin. I would, a lot of people keep saying this. I would not name it anything to do with me. This would be a legitimate business idea. So this would have to be something like, I was thinking something could have the word DeFi in it, like DeFi Properties UK, or properties through DeFi, or just something like that. Decentralized properties. I don't know, something like that, or just property token. Glenn got it. Why only UK? Why not take a road trip through Europe in searching of housing gems? Well, I know the UK housing market. I could learn, obviously, other countries, but I know the UK housing market pretty well. So obviously I'd stick to that at first until my business model proved profitable and successful. It could exist as a synthetic asset and be exchanged on synthetic as well. I've not looked into that. I'll have to check that out. Glenn got it. Patreon. On Patreon, you can control your investor and your spendings. Really? On Patreon? That's interesting. Peckham says, okay, go on then. I'm all ears. Auction, 28 days. SDL. ETH is too volatile for funding. Go with a more stable solution for the funding. Well, the thing is, Fred, obviously, say if I'd started a crowd sale and I said, right, it's going to last for, I mean, obviously I don't need to raise huge amount of money. So let's say I said, right, it's going to go for 30 days. I'd only need it, you know, to be going for a month. So whatever happened to the price of Ethereum in that month, that would give me, and you never know, it could go up by the time I cash it out. So that 50 grand that I raise might be 60 grand. Cash it out, that gives me more money to purchase property. Whisper says, I was thinking of something similar for childcare business, buying a property to turn into a nursery through crowdfunding in crypto. You have heard of the house crowd? No, I haven't. I'll look into that. So I've got to look into the house crowd, synthetic, paying out in a stable coin. So you're giving me loads of great ideas. I really appreciate it. Make sure that you message me through Telegram, obviously BitGlen, or on Twitter at BitGlen, because I'd love to hear all these messages. I don't know how far you thought about the technicalities, but you might want to look at what happens when there's a difference in tastes. Like, what happens when an investor isn't happy with the style of renovations? Is there going to be a way to know the style of the renovations before investing in a certain project? No, I think that would be too hard. There's no way. You'd have to have one person spearheading it, or a very small amount of people. Otherwise, you'd have too many chiefs, not enough Indians. The idea is obviously that your coin is a proportion of the property. So like you own some of the property. Now, I'm all ears for people saying, "Oh, Glenn," but the idea is that this is a business. I'm not renovating these properties to look nice. Obviously, I will make them look nice. Obviously, like this, like freshly painted, plastered, and wallpaper. But you know, if people started mentioning, "Oh, I want red wallpaper," no, I want blue wallpaper. That's just, that'd be insane. It would actually drive me mental. So, no, I wouldn't do that. I do feel though that someone brought up a really good point. They said, why don't you do a decentralized coin where people have voting rights? So if you say put up 3 different properties and you say, look guys, these are 3 properties that I'm interested in purchasing, you can vote using your coins or something like that, which means I'd have to burn your tokens. You vote on which project you actually want me to pursue and buy. But I was thinking about it, and sometimes that's very hard to do, because when I was looking at the house that I was looking into, I went for about 5 other properties before I got this one, and either they went for too much money. Obviously, you're at auction, so it's very, very spur of the moment. So it's like sort of like you put your hand up, and you have a price in mind of what you're willing to go up to. So the house that I bought, I was willing to go up to 50 grand, but I got it for 42. So I got quite lucky there. But imagine if it went up to 51, then I'd have to put my hand down. Then I'd have to do some sort of message or video. Hey guys, that house that you all liked, I didn't get it in the end, or somebody else bought it because they sold it to a family friend. It'd be quite difficult. The idea is that you guys are investing in a token, and with that token, you're helping me purchase properties, and we would have a shareholders agreement. So I would own, say, 50% or 30% or whatever, and the token holders, they would own the other percentage, so 70 or 50, whatever the percentages are that we work out. Glenn, you want to buy in Birmingham? I have looked at Birmingham. I've been up there to view properties. I don't mind, I don't mind where I buy it, as long as the rental yield and the capital growth. So you've got 2 different ways of making money in property. Either you buy a house, renovate it, and sell it, and then you gain the capital growth, but you've added value in there. So you've bought something and added value on top of it. That's capital growth. If you did that, you would then be liable for capital gains tax. The other way is a rental yield. So you just buy property, rent it out so it's a livable condition, then you can get a mortgage on it and just rent it out, like for as long as you want. And if the property goes up in value, you just remortgage it. You just keep remortgaging it every, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever it may be. Sometimes the house price might go down, but that doesn't matter. As long as the rent continues to come in, it doesn't matter. And that's what I like about properties. You've got 2 exits. You've got the selling, renting. That's your 2, and that's 2 sources of income as well. Now, if you mix a cryptocurrency in with that, now you've got 3 different ways, because obviously if the profit from either of these 2 goes into the cryptocurrency, you would expect the cryptocurrency to go up in value as well. So you've actually got 2 assets, the house and the cryptocurrency, but you've got 3 to 4 ways of those accumulating more wealth, which I think is really exciting. And if I can do like a coin that offers staking rewards, then that'd be another way. That'd be like 5 ways that you would earn money with this cryptocurrency, through capital growth, rental yields, staking, coin appreciation. So then, and you actually own something. There's actually something that you can touch and feel and be a part of. Whereas a lot of these coins at the moment, I don't know about you guys, but obviously with this DeFi movement, you could invest in Chainlink, but what is it you actually own? Like, what do you own? You own a coin that's called Chainlink, but what could you actually go to that business and say, I own some of this building, or I own some of your employees, or something like that? No. Well, obviously, the answer is no, you don't. But what if I could combine the two, where you own a token, but you're also a shareholder of a limited company within the UK as an angel investor that actually owns other assets, gold, properties, whatever, and you actually own a proportion of that? I don't know. I think that's really exciting. I'd invest in that. I'd invest in that and think, you know what, I'll put £100 into it, I'll put £1,000 into it, I'll leave it and see what happens in 5 to 10 years' time. You know, it's a long hold type project, and you're not going to see me doing videos saying, oh my god, property coin's going to go to $2,000 by the end of the month. You know, that's not my style. I'm saying, look, this is what I'm actually going to do, and this is what I think it will generate. Now, how you guys interpret that is entirely up to you, but yeah, I'm not going to be pumping it and, you know, doing all stuff like that. I don't know. I'll leave that to you guys. You guys can do that all over Twitter and Telegram if you want to. But, you know, like people that buy like XRP, what do you actually own? Like, do you own anything really, apart from a bit of code, apart from a wallet address? Like, what do you own? I just think that this tokenization of stuff, it can be more powerful than it is at the moment. And I'd like to give it a go. I don't know. Let's catch up with what you guys have said. Let's catch up. Well, there's quite a few questions actually. I was thinking of saying similar. I don't know how far you thought into technicals, but what would happen on taste? Like what happens investing in certain projects? There's a ton more questions I could raise, but I'm not sure if you've raised them yourself. By all means, ask me. I've got no issues with that. Prop buy coin. Oh, I should call it prop buy coin. I'm an estate agent. That's cool. How's the market going? It seems to have picked up at the moment. I can put some capital with Glenn. I've been following since early days. Oh, thanks for that. Yeah. I mean, see, this is what I was thinking. I was thinking, oh, if I've got like, I don't know, even if it was, I mean, if it was like 250 of you that were like, yeah, actually, I could see this happening. It means I need you to put in about £200 each. And I think that would really, you know, get me going. That's not huge amounts of money, I don't think. To own a coin that is tied to a property, I think that's, you know, there's not many places where you can say, I own a bit of a property and I've done it with $200 or £200. If there is a place like that, let me know. With my own established rentals and sales, please talk more. BTL coin, buy to let coin. That is a good idea. Buy to let coin. I like that. And this is pure centralization, however. Yeah, that is the thing. And that's what I've said this straight at the beginning of the video. The central point of failure would be me. If I decided, oh, do you know what? I can't do this. I've just lost a leg, or something just really dramatic happened in my life. There is a central point of failure there. That is right. There's no two ways about it. But the idea is that really I'm sort of like a project manager. So I could say, right, you're the painter and decorator, you're the plumber, you're the electrician, you go and do the property, you're the estate agent. And if I can get it so that obviously they all know their jobs, they all go into a property, do it, then they leave, then the estate agent knows, right, Glenn likes it this way, he does it da 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 da. And then once the property's really set up, that's it. It just ticks over. And obviously that money going into that account is all going into the profit of the business, which obviously the token holders and myself would own shares of that company. A property coin would be a nice hedge. A platform that provides a service with any supported coin serving that purpose seems to be a viable option to me. Based on what I understand, the topic creating a coin doesn't seem like the solution to me. The coin itself doesn't provide something that another coin couldn't be able to do given the opportunity. coin doesn't seem like the solution to me. The coin itself doesn't provide something that another coin wouldn't be able to do given the opportunity. No, I think you're right. I think there is a company that's already doing it called Brickcoin, but they've massively dropped, and I don't think the people that own the token actually have a say or own any of the asset. They don't own the homes. They're just invested in the coin and they hope the coin goes up in price. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. I don't just want to create an ERC20 token and say, oh, look, this might go up in price at some point. I actually wanted to think deeper into it. Like, how do I go about so that the people who buy the token actually own some of the property with me? To me, that is very exciting. And just need to figure out how I go about it. Fred says a property coin would be a nice hedge, maybe a custom coin that provides extra incentive. Flanagan says you can also make your own coin on the Ravencoin network, tokenizing a asset properties in that case. Oh, I didn't know that Ravencoin you could create your own coin. Peckham says no difference in market rent and sales in weeks. All my completions is asleep at the wheel. Nobody's in office. All saving on Rightmove fees. Don't listen to the news. All big companies are keeping staff on furlough. Yeah, I've heard that recently, actually. Maybe something to get homeless people off the streets. You can do. There are schemes in the UK where you can actually have properties that are rented out for social housing, people that are struggling. Normally these councils want to see that you're a legit landlord already, so they normally ask that you own some, depending on different councils, you have to have been renting out sort of 3 to 5 properties first, so you're a experienced landlord. And normally you get a contract with these sort of housing associations for things like that, where they will say, right, okay, we will pay you £2,000 a month rent guaranteed for the next 10 years, which is awesome because you get a little contract stating that, and you can go to the mortgage company and say, look, I've got this agreement with whatever council, and they will lend you money based on that because it's guaranteed. So yeah, that is definitely an option we could look at. I think I'd have to wait probably a year or two before, so that I've got several properties. But saying that, depending on how much the token raises, I could go out and buy 5 properties within sort of a couple of months. Who knows? My own business, no lies. Good on you, Peckham. I think that's the way to go forward in this country. Since reopening, business is exploding. What you could do is having a voting rights on a portfolio of value, aka distressed properties without disclosure. However, the land registry would be the common link. That's the thing as well, like people that own the tokens, they wouldn't be on the land registry. I would be, or the business would be, which they own a share of. So yeah, I could probably get around that actually. There could also be staking section of the coin, which is based on a rental income, which underlies the value of the coins. Yep, that's what I've been thinking about the last few days. I have been full experiment this concept for a year. Know the reference code on the land registry is side code of coin. That would be a good idea. Well, thank you for all your feedback, guys. It's now, I don't know what time it is, about 11 or something. So I'm going to go to sleep. I've got to be up early and I've got to do lots of driving tomorrow to get back home to see my wife and kids. But yeah, that's my thoughts. When this project finishes, which will be in about another 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks, I will really seriously sit down before I buy the next property, and I'm going to put all my focus and energy into creating this token and really getting it off the ground. So yeah, within the next couple of weeks, if you guys think of things or read things or find things out, let me know. Please comment on these videos, send me Telegram or Twitter at BitGlen. And I'm going to try and accumulate as much knowledge as I can between now and then regarding UK laws for raising money through cryptocurrency, through a decentralized exchange. But that's it from me, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button. There's been about 25-30 of you watching this, and there's only 14 likes. So hopefully there's 6 more of you out there that can just tap that like button for me. I'd really appreciate that. Don't forget, obviously, all the usual social media stuff. I ain't going to go through it again. I've got a draft idea on a platform you could use. I'll post it in the Discord. I'm kind of happy with it. Okay, mate. Yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. That's it from me, guys. I'm going to go to bed. Yeah, I need to turn the heating down. It's boiling in here. And I'll see you guys. I'll probably do a video. I'll be doing a 3-hour drive tomorrow, so I could do a live video with you guys tomorrow as well, on the drive home. But I think I've just told you everything that's been on my mind the last few days, so I don't know what we would talk about tomorrow. But when I get back home, obviously it'll be not this weekend. This weekend we're going Peppa Pig World with the kids. And then I'm back up here. So I won't be back in my crypto shed until the following weekend, and that's only for like 1 day. And then I'll be back up here, and then hopefully after that I'll be back home a lot more. So I'll do more content for you guys then, and obviously a lot more research into this property token and how it would work. So that's it from me, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.